across from a boy I had a crush on. He's searching my eyes. His question crashes into me like a torpedo, and I feel myself sink. How are you so happy? My freshman year, despite its initial euphoria and freedom, ended with anxiety and nihilism. I slept for extra hours every day, trying to escape the constant question, why do I exist? Why do I always wake up and find myself in this body? What am I doing here? The web began to unravel one night. I rose from my bed and stormed out of my room carrying my camera. I ran to the common space and pressed record. Yes, there is a possibility I don't exist, I yelled. Well, what if there's a possibility that I do exist? I have to take full advantage of this opportunity, this life. I read a book that summer. The quote continued to loosen the stranglehold. Those who shun the whimsy of things experience rigor mortis before death. Tom Robbins. I had been shunning the whimsy of things. I was taking life too heavily. Sophomore year, I read a document for my cultural and social change class. It was an examination of Weber's light cloak to iron cage idea. It read, increased rationalization does not indicate an increased knowledge of the conditions under which one lives. Today, there are no mysterious, incalculable forces that come into play. We've become the master of all things by calculation, which means the world is disenchanted. Disenchantment signals the total denial of our core essence of what it means to be human. Damn, right? In the beginning of my time at university, I felt a pressure to be as rational as possible because rationality and an analytical understanding of the world was symbolic of intelligence. However, if Weber, a brilliant intellectual, found a purely scholastic mentality to be lacking in vital ways, maybe that wasn't how I was meant to think or what our society was meant to value. So, I applied to study abroad in a Buddhist monastery in India. I wanted to go because everyone talked about how happy Buddhists were, and I needed to know why. That summer, I left for India, interring all the potential plot lines from my sophomore year for this higher purpose. India was so many things. It stripped me bare of all excess. I lost my clothes, my hair, illness changed my body, dust aged my skin, my name was changed, my gender was ambiguous, my brain was taken apart, emptied, and slowly reassembled. When it was complete, the world wasn't so dualistic. I didn't get angry when my brain was sad, anxious, or scared. Death was an obvious and beautiful thing. However, despite my understanding of my personal journey towards discovering happiness, I still didn't know how to translate that into something that others could understand. During my independent study during the program, I decided to interview people visiting holy Buddhist sites. I spent 2 weeks asking Thai pilgrims, what is happiness? What is happiness? What is happiness? If you've talked to me for any amount of time, you know that I haven't gotten out of the habit of asking people this question. But people repeat the same things again and again. Happiness comes when you reflect on your experiences. Happiness comes when you're in a community. Happiness is feeling like you're part of something larger. And perhaps it was only genuine connection that the anxious people back home were missing. The Thai pilgrims were strangers to me, but they took me in anyways. When I finally returned to America, I felt like an alien. I felt like I had only just been born and I was supposed to understand how Western interactions worked somehow. I had to start from scratch in order to re-immerse myself into the society I grew up in. In an attempt to find my own happiness again, I started to try ways to make my communities happier. I attempted to organize programs to facilitate deep connection and reflection. I was so lucky to live at P&J where people were so willing to be a part of it. Now that my college career is over, I can't say that I know how to make the whole world happy, but I know that my time here has lit the match in my heart to figure it out. I can now think back on my college career from my re-enchanted perspective. I hope that I gave a few people a little bit of that hope too. And if that boy asked me how I'm happy, how I'm so happy, how would I respond? I'm not happy in the same way that freshman boy admired. My worldview is no longer so fragile that it crumbles when someone asks me what happiness is. I am happy because I can see how I am completely a part of this universe. I'm happy because I know I can never know everything. I'm happy because I have a community of friends that are beautiful, kind, and present. I am happy because I know I have enough. And I am happy because this school has helped me discover my passion of understanding happiness.